Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Flamecraft. I'm going to show you how this game is played in the solo mode and give you a little explanation about it and then tell you what I think about it so that you can decide for yourself, is this a game that you would like to put to your solo collection or one that you probably want to pass on. Let's go ahead and get started. And as usual, folks, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And if you have, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Okay, so let's go ahead and just show you a little bit about what's on the board, and then we'll get right to it. So this board is basically a big town road, and you have these shops, and you start the game with 6 shops. I've already played, I don't know, maybe 10 or so turns. And the game is played with the shops that come out after you fill a full shop with dragons. You start adding more. You add up to 12 shops in a solo game. So as you can see right now, just after a couple turns, I've had 2 new shops show up. I haven't put anything in there yet. And what happens is on your turn, you're going to be doing one of 2 things. You are going to always move your dragon, in this case, this is me, to a shop. And you're going to gather or you're going to enchant. If you gather, you're going to get all of the icons of the goods that are in the shop. The dragons, the shop, and any of the contracts that have already been, or the enchantments that have already been put in there. And then, after that, you can play 1 card from your hand if you have an artisan dragon, and if it matches the specific icons here in the open shops. If you do, you get whatever bonuses are over there. All right, and if you don't, then you don't, but it's up to you. If the shop's already full, you can't do that, but you get a reward in the fact that there's just a ton of stuff to gather there. The other thing is that once you do that, then you can activate one of these abilities on the dragons below. Now, this game, doesn't matter that there is, like, for instance, Twig and Dandelion. They have different illustrations, but they're the same exact abilities. So the abilities are color-coded. So there aren't too many abilities in this game. There's 6 of them. And that's probably just fine for the level and type of game this is. So after that, your turn's over. Then you go through a little bit of a reset. Then the solo bot will take a turn. Basically, the way the solo bot will go... let me tell you that in a second. The other thing is that you can enchant one of these, which is basically you spending these specific goods to get the reward and then tuck the enchantment under the specific shop. Okay, and that scores you points, might help you draw some gold, might get you some special dragons over here, the fancy dragons as they're called, which help you get end game scoring. And so basically this is the almost the entire way you're scoring points in the game. The other thing you score on is that you will get these, like I said, fancy dragons you can spend during the game, some of them to gain points, or at the end of the game, depending on conditions. And the other thing you can do is you can activate the green guy who says give one of your goods to another player. In this case, you just discard it and you get 2 points for that. Okay, so those are the 3 ways that you basically get points. The other things you can do, I guess, is when some of these rewards will get you points as well. The game ends when you've exhausted the artisan deck over here or the enchantment deck. And that usually takes about 45 minutes or so in a solo game, maybe a little quicker depending on how fast you're flying through. So let me go ahead and play a few turns and then you can see. So like I said, you have to move in this game. You can't stay in the same spot just going over and over again. But I'm going to start, and actually I have some of the components I need, almost all of them for this contract. So I'd like to do this one. That gives me 4 points and a special or fancy dragon, but I'm missing the diamond. Now I can do one of 2 things. I could either spend this coin and be done with it, or I can get some jewels. And what I'm going to do actually in this case, because I need some potions for other things, I'm going to go here to the potable potions. You guys, this game is full of puns, by the way. Some of you might recognize that one from old SNL Celebrity Jeopardy skits. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get 2 potions and 1 diamond. And then my second thing, I can play this card right here. I'm going to play Moonbeam, okay? Doesn't matter what it says. I just play it on here and I get the reward, but it has to match. That icon has to match. So I play it down. I get the reward. The reward is an endgame dragon called Talisman. It says return fancy dragons from your hand for 3 points each. So that's good. So if I have some that I don't fill or don't do a good job, I can at least return them for 3 points each. Okay. Now I filled that up, so that means I put a face down shop out here on the board to come up at the end of the whole round. Okay. That's it. And then the other thing I do is I can either do this where I swap. This ability here says swap with a dragon in a town and then fire it up or use the ability. Or I can do this and gain 3 different goods, or the same thing, gain 3 different goods. I'm going to gain 3 different goods because I'm trying to think ahead. And the think ahead spot is going to be this one right here that I'd like to get. So that means I'll get an iron forge, a piece of bread, and let's see what else is out there. Probably another meat, so I can get ready to get that one going as well. All right, my turn's over. Now I draw the top card off of, this is the solo bot part. I draw the top card off of here, and you can see it's purple. So I will, this is something someone suggested to me. I like it. The rules say you just go around and fill it in the first spot clockwise, but I like the idea of flipping a coin. This is my heads, this is my tails. Heads I'll go clockwise, and tails I'll go counterclockwise. So I'll flip the coin, and it's heads, okay? So I'm going to go around here looking for a spot where this fits, and it's a potion. The first spot is this wild spot right there. Then I take the purple dragon and I put it there, because what that does is that's a blocker, and that means that if I wanted to go there, I have to pay one of my goods to any of the dragons that are already there, okay? The other thing this does is this now, based on the color, activates or spends one of these enchantments. So I've been trying to go for this one. I'll actually use this one. It's a purple, so that's legit. And I'll put that in the purple shop. There's 3 contracts per shop, color. And then I deal one out. And now it's my turn again. So you see how quickly that goes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and enchant to demonstrate that situation. So the thing with enchanting is when you do that, you get to use all the abilities of all the dragons that are there, which is good. Let's see. So the one that's probably worth the most to me, because this is set to 3, that's be 9 points right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to, don't want to do that. Yes. I'm going to go to this one. Now, when I go to this one, I have to pay something for him blocking me there, and I will. I'll pay this, let's see, I've got 4. I'll pay this leaf. I don't need the leaf. So that just goes away. Then I'm going to go ahead and do this. It says no coins, but sets of 3, I get 0, 5, or 9 points. So I have 3 of these. So 3, 3, and also the forges, 3. So that sets of 3. That was 3 sets. That's 9 points. I go ahead and slide it under there. I give myself the 9 points. I'm on the board here for 11 because I had 2 to start. And then I get to activate each of these dragons. Well, the first one says gain 3 different types of goods. Perfect. I can look out here and see what I'm trying to do. Well, I've got most everything I need from there. So I'm going to gain one of these because I get it from other things. And then I'll also gain another leaf because that's useful in lots of them. And then a potion because that's also useful in lots of them. Okay, so I've gained the 3. Then it says gift a good to another player for 2 points. Well, I'm going to just discard this leaf here for the 2 points. Okay, my turn is over. Now, you don't play a card down when you do the enchantment. All right. I could play any of these cards if I want these fancy dragons, but I'm not going to do that at the moment because none of them really give me what I'm looking for, so we're not going to do that. So we go back to the AI. So the AI is going to draw one of these. It is a red, so he's going to go around. We're going to flip the coin. Okay, heads again. Well, that's unfortunate. He goes there, he blocks that spot. I was going to hopefully do that. Then the red guy moves over here, and I look for a red contract right here. We put it at the first red space over here. Okay, and then I refill. So you can see things can move pretty quickly in this game. You're going to drill through this deck or this deck first. This one's going to at least have 1 every time. This one may or may not. But that's it. That's kind of how the game goes. Your goal is to do 75 points or more. If you score 75 points, you come to the back of this book and you look at these achievements. And if you also complete one of these achievements, like for instance, I have 6 or more forged dragons in town, and you score 75 points at least, you can unlock this heavy metal, which means that you will put different fancy dragons in there and you change some things or you add other shops. It's kind of cool. So as you start, you get a limited number of shops with a limited number of fancy dragons. And as you unlock things, it changes it up, which I like. I think that's a big bonus. And if you score, actually, if you even manage to score 90 or more, then you can actually add 2 achievements if you've unlocked the conditions. And that's pretty much it. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward, but I would say a medium-ish weight, medium lightweight game. Oh, and at the end of the turn, I was supposed to flip that over. And if you go to a town, some of these, the basic towns don't have any specific action on them, but the newer ones, as you flip them over from the non-basic ones, they will have some kind of action, which will entice you to go there for the first time, which is kind of cool. And that way you don't stay on these areas just doing them over and over. You want to put your guys down there to get points. You want to then expand and keep on moving with the town. All right, so that's about the size of it. Let me tell you what I think of it. So that is Flamecraft from a solo mode perspective. You can see it's really pretty straightforward. The rulebook does a great job making sure that you can easily learn this game quickly, and then they have plenty of clarifications in the back. It's a great rule book, makes it super easy to play, and pretty much once you learn the game, you're not going to have to go back into that rule book very much. And what I mean by learn it, I mean is literally read through the rule book once and start playing. This is not a game that's tough to learn. It's not a game that's going to have you doing a lot of rule lookups. Luckily, it's very straightforward. The cards say what to do. So it's not a game where you have a million icons trying to figure out a new foreign language to learn how to play this, which I really appreciate when it comes to playing a game, especially when you have a bunch of different solo games you like to play. It's nice to be able to just read the card and do what it says versus have to relearn the iconography to figure out the language it says so you know what to do. This is definitely a game you can sit down, set up pretty quickly, and play really quickly, actually. I think 45 minutes is probably pretty generous if you're going slower than usual. You'd probably knock this out in a half hour. It is a medium-ish game, and the reason it's not light is because there are some tough choices to make. The enchantments that are out there get swallowed up by the solo bot a lot. So you have to really choose your strategy and then be ready to adapt if it gets taken away. Very much like what would happen in the multiplayer game. The goal to get 75 is not easy to do. I barely made it the last game I played. I had 75 on the dot, and luckily I had one of the conditions unlocked, which was cool. So I think that in this case, the joy of the solo mode is going to be someone who's looking for a game that's medium to lightweight, but also likes to unlock achievements that modify their game. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a big legacy feel, but you do put things into it that makes the other games different. So your deck of available shops grows, your fancy monster deck grows, you swap things out. I think that's cool. I like that, and I also like the fact that you can challenge yourself to say, all right, I haven't unlocked this achievement yet, so I got to focus on this idea, and still I have to score well. And I think that's where the solo mode makes a lot of sense and where the joy of playing this game comes from. Otherwise, it would be more of a standard, gather goods, fulfill contracts, gather goods, fulfill contracts. And that's fine. That's totally fine. If you're looking for that, this game is great for that. It's pretty easy to play, and it's not a brain burner. And the solo mode is very easy to manage, like you saw. And if you don't feel like flipping a coin, if you want to go even faster, just do everything clockwise, or just alternate clockwise, counterclockwise, or whatever you want to do. You don't have to do that. You can just follow the rules. But it's very simple to play. I think a lot of people who are looking for that medium style game are going to like it. For someone who's looking for something more heavy or a lot of abilities or sweet card combos, there's none of that here. There's no card combos here, really. There's bonus cards that you can score for different things. So there's things driving you in one direction or another to keep it from just being a complete sandbox. And there's tension in the fact that what you want might get snagged up, so you better get it quickly. You can't lollygag around. So there's all those good things that I think make it compelling, but it's not a tough game. It's not a brain burner. So if you're looking for that, you probably want to pass on this. If you're looking for a medium to medium light game that has these elements in it, and you like unlocking different achievements and having that do something besides just you saying, oh, I checked the box here, I checked the box there, but it kind of adds a little bit of a legacy aspect, then this game is for you. So I like it. I'm definitely going to keep it for a while, at least until I unlock all of the achievements. I'll set it up, probably play it once every couple of weeks or so, maybe twice, because it is pretty easy to set up and play quickly. And if you're exhausted, you can't handle something more meaty, then this is a great game for that. All right, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, everybody. And whatever you decide to play in the future, I hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.